Rhea pressed her hand against the frosted viewport, condensation blooming like a fragile galaxy under her touch. The landscape beyond was fractured, a tapestry woven from shards of azure sky and violet nebulae, constantly shifting and reforming. She traced a finger across one particularly jagged edge, watching as it dissolved into nothingness before snapping back together moments later. Another shift. A voice like polished stone emanated from the cockpit behind her. The keeper, shrouded in shadow, regarded her with fathomless, violet eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light of the control panel. "Are you prepared?" Rhea nodded, her grip tightening on the worn handle of her energy blade. Finding Wren was paramount. He had been swallowed by this fractured reality weeks ago, his beacon fading like a dying star with each passing day. The Keeper's warnings echoed in her mind. Other forces lurked within these dimensional fragments, unseen predators preying on lost souls. "A single shard contains an illusionary city," the Keeper rasped. "Within its borders lies knowledge of another fragment, one that holds a key." Rhea's breath caught. "Another key?" "This reality is a puzzle," the Keeper confirmed, their form rippling like heat waves above a desolate plain. "Each shard a piece to unlock a path home. Beware, child. The city within the fragment, it holds both opportunity and peril." Rhea's gaze drifted back to the panorama of shimmering chaos beyond the viewport. The swirling colors were hypnotic, beautiful in their absurdity. But beneath the surface lurked danger. She sensed it with every fiber of her being. Fear gnawed at her edges, but she pushed it down. Wren needed her. He was counting on her. "Let's go," Rhea said, her voice resolute despite the tremor within. The Keeper nodded slowly, their eyes blazing brighter than ever before. With a flick of a wrist, they manipulated the control panel. The chamber hummed and pulsed, vibrating through Rhea's bones as they prepared to breach another shard of this broken reality. Rhea gripped her energy blade tighter, its blue glow mirroring the anticipation burning inside her. The Binary Dawn Odyssey had just begun. The world dissolved into a kaleidoscope of fractured light and sound. Rhea braced herself against the jolt as reality folded in on itself, then reformed around them, distorted and unfamiliar. When her vision cleared, she found themselves within a bustling city carved from swirling crystals. Gleaming towers pierced the violet sky, their spires tinged with shimmering gold. The Keeper had spoken of illusion, but this felt more real than anything Rhea had experienced before. The air hummed with an alien energy. Vendors hawked wares made of iridescent metal and pulsating crystal, while beings with skin like polished obsidian moved gracefully through the crowds, their eyes burning with an ethereal light. Rhea cautiously removed her helmet, feeling the unfamiliar gravity pull at her limbs. "This place, it's beautiful," she murmured. "Beauty is a fleeting illusion." The Keeper's voice rasped from behind her, tinged with warning. "These are constructs designed to distract and deceive." A chill ran down Rhea's spine. The city felt somehow oppressive, its beauty masking a deeper truth. "What do we need to find here?" she asked, scanning the endless expanse of crystal streets. "Knowledge," the Keeper replied, their forms solidified into a tall, gaunt figure, clad in shimmering robes. "The key to finding Wren lies within this city. But be warned, every path leads to both truth and deception. You must choose carefully." Rhea nodded grimly, her gloved hand tightening on her energy blade. The bustling marketplace around them pulsed with life, a cacophony of vibrant colors and alien sounds. A figure caught Rhea's eye, a being with skin like liquid mercury, its form shifting and swirling. It held a tattered map illuminated by a pulsating orb, etched with symbols unlike anything she had ever seen. This, Rhea felt, was someone who might hold the answers they sought. "Come," she whispered to the Keeper, her voice barely audible amidst the din. "Let's speak to that vendor." The Keeper's gaze followed hers, a flicker of something akin to curiosity in its violet eyes. As they weaved through the dense crowds, Rhea felt a growing sense of unease. She couldn't shake the feeling that every eye watched their every move, judging their intentions. But she pressed forward, her determination fueled by the desperate need to find Wren. The city whispered secrets around them, urging caution, promising danger, and perhaps the key to unraveling the mystery of this fractured reality. Rhea approached the vendor cautiously, trying to gauge their reaction. Their shifting form pulsed with an inner light, mesmerizing in its erratic dance. Its skin rippled like molten silver, coalescing momentarily into a rough approximation of a hand to gesture towards a stall overflowing with peculiar objects, glowing crystals that hummed with unseen energy, intricately woven fabrics that shimmered with every movement, and metal contraptions that whirred faintly despite having no visible power source. "Peace be with you," Rhea offered, her voice measured, trying to blend in with the cacophony of bartering voices around them. "We're seeking information." The vendor paused mid-shift, its form solidifying for a split second before reforming into a face vaguely reminiscent of a human's, elongated, with eyes that burned like twin embers nestled within polished onyx. "Information costs." It rasped, its voice a discordant melody of scraping chimes and humming static. "What currency do you offer?" The keeper stepped forward, their violet gaze piercing beyond the vendor's shifting facade. "We seek knowledge," they stated, their voice a low, resonant hum. "Knowledge of routes through these fragmented realities. We need to reach a specific individual." "Ah, a seeker," the vendor murmured, its form rippling with amusement. "Every traveler claims that, yet few possess the true metal for this journey." It paused, peering at Rhea with unsettling intensity. "And what is it you seek from this individual? The key to a hidden artifact? A forbidden truth?" Rhea hesitated, her grip tightening on her energy blade's hilt. The vendor seemed to be probing deeper than they intended. "Our reasons are personal," she replied cautiously, "but we're not interested in artifacts or secrets. We only seek passage." The vendor's face twisted into a grimace that stretched its shifting features, revealing a set of razor-sharp teeth before reforming once more. Laughter, brittle and discordant, burst from its depths, echoing through the bustling marketplace. "Passage is always bought with blood, child," it hissed, its voice laced with a chilling undertone. "Or maybe something more valuable." The keeper's form pulsed with an unseen energy, their eyes narrowing. "What do you mean?" they demanded. The vendor's shifting form flickered and stuttered, as if struggling against some unseen force. "There are other means," it gasped. "But they tread on dangerous paths, paths guarded by creatures of pure chaos. You must choose wisely." Rhea exchanged a worried look with the keeper. Their journey had taken a decidedly darker turn. The vendor's form rippled with unsettling energy as it spoke. "There are other paths," it rasped, its voice catching in a series of scrapes and clicks, though they twist through realms far darker than this simulated illusion. Rhea felt a shiver run down her spine, despite the unnatural warmth emanating from the vendor's shifting form. She stepped forward, placing herself between the keeper and the unsettling creature. "What paths?" she demanded, forcing every ounce of confidence into her voice. "And how do they lead to?" "To Wren?" The vendor finished for her, its shimmering face contorting into a grotesque expression she couldn't quite decipher. "Lost souls find their way entangled in these fragmented realities through threads of emotion, child. Despair, fear, even love." It paused, studying Rhea with unsettling intensity. "Tell me, what binds you to this missing soul?" The keeper's voice, deeper and resonant than before, cut through the vendor's pronouncements. "We seek passage, not cryptic riddles." "Passage comes at a price, always," the vendor insisted, its form swaying with an unsettling rhythm. "What are you willing to sacrifice for your beloved?" Rhea felt the keeper tense beside her. She knew they wouldn't reveal Wren's connection without extreme duress. Taking a deep breath, she met the vendor's gaze head-on. "We are capable of facing any challenge," Rhea stated with newfound resolve, "to traverse these fragmented realities and reunite those torn apart by this chaos." The vendor tilted its serpentine head, studying them both. A hollow, laughter-laced sigh escaped from its shifting maw before it coalesced back into a semblance of a face. "Bold words," it hissed, its voice dripping with skepticism. "Very well. But understand, child, every path chosen within this fractured dimension comes intertwined with sacrifice. Are you prepared for that?" Rhea felt the keeper's presence beside her, unwavering and steadfast. She knew there were risks, unimaginable terrors lurking in the depths of these fractured realities, but she also knew what was at stake. "Yes," she said, her voice echoing through the bustling marketplace. "We are." The vendor's form rippled with energy as it surveyed them both once more. It then gestured toward a barely discernible opening behind its stall, masked by swirling patterns of light and shadow. "Then follow me," it whispered, its voice now laced with an almost seductive undertone. But be warned, the path you choose will determine your fate. Rhea, her hand resting reassuringly on the hilt of her energy blade, exchanged a knowing glance with the Keeper before stepping forward into the beckoning darkness. The Keeper's gaze flickered between Rhea and the vendor, a flicker of caution underlying their usual stoicism. "What awaits us in this path?" they inquired, voice as measured as ever. The vendor's shifting form rippled like heat haze above a desert road, a grin splitting its constantly morphing features. "Ah, but that's for you to discover," it purred, the sound vibrating through Rhea's very bones. "Trust me, child, it promises to be an experience." Rhea stepped into the shadowed opening, her boots crunching on a surface unlike anything she'd encountered before, a mosaic of fractured glass that hummed with an energy both alluring and unsettling. The passage narrowed, walls writhing and contorting around them as though alive. Twisted tendrils of shimmering light pulsed from the fissures within the stonework, casting their surroundings in a kaleidoscope of otherworldly colors. Ahead, the path seemed to descend into utter blackness. "Stay alert," she murmured, gripping her blade tighter. "Something feels off." The Keeper nodded, their form flickering like embers in a dying fire. Then, as if responding to an invisible signal, they outstretched a hand towards Rhea, their 5 long fingers merging seamlessly with the shifting light of the walls, leaving behind trails of luminous energy. Together, the Keeper's voice resonated with a power unseen before. "We navigate these shadows." Rhea placed her hand in theirs, warmth coursing through her, as she felt a surge of their energy pulsing within her own veins, grounding, protecting, a beacon amidst the palpable unease that gripped this fractured realm. Stepping deeper into the unknown, Rhea noticed remnants scattered along the path. Shattered crystalline shards that glittered with imprisoned starlight and scraps of fabric woven from impossible hues, all bearing the hallmark of some forgotten devastation. "This is more than just a passage," she whispered, her voice hushed with awe and apprehension. "What ancient power, what unimaginable horrors lie at its heart?" The vendor's laughter echoed behind them, distant, yet somehow unsettlingly close. "You'll discover all that soon enough," it teased, "and perhaps more." They walked on, 2 figures dwarfed by the grandeur yet terror of their surroundings. As they pressed deeper into the black abyss, Rhea knew this treacherous journey had only just begun. The path twisted and narrowed, walls constricting like some unseen force seeking to crush them. Rhea clutched her energy blade tighter, its hum now a comforting vibration against the growing unease in this fractured dimension. The vendor's parting words echoed in her mind. What price for passage, child? What were they truly offering? "These walls, they're shifting," the Keeper murmured, their hand withdrawing from Rhea's grasp to trace the ever-changing patterns of luminous energy pulsing along the tunnel walls. Their form flickered, their usual steadiness momentarily compromised by the oppressive atmosphere. "As if alive." Rhea nodded, her gaze darting between the writhing stone and the tendrils of light. They were no longer simply a conduit for energy. They seemed to be in communion with this place, reacting to its subtle tremors. "Feel anything?" Rhea asked, her voice low. She needed to know if the Keeper sensed any malevolence lurking ahead, any traps disguised by the mesmerizing beauty surrounding them. A moment of silence stretched between them, broken only by the humming energy and the soft rasp of shifting stone. "Distortion," the Keeper finally replied, their voice a hollow echo in the confines of the passage. "It feels layered, like there are things here, both present and elsewhere." Their words did little to quell Rhea's apprehension. Present or elsewhere, there was something profoundly unsettling about this fractured dimension. Just then, ahead in the heart of darkness, a faint luminescence appeared, a pulsating orb, bathing the cavernous opening ahead in an ethereal glow. As they drew closer, the distorted energy intensified, causing a wave of dizziness to wash over Rhea. The walls seemed to press inwards, seeking to suffocate them entirely. This is where it leads," the Keeper said, their voice strained as if battling against some unseen force. Fear tightened its grip on Rhea's heart, but she stood firm, her grip on her blade unwavering. She had journeyed this far. There was no turning back now. "Then let's see what awaits," Rhea muttered, her voice barely a whisper above the rising hum vibrating through her bones. Together, they stepped into the pulsating light, and then everything changed. The world dissolved around them in a dizzying swirl of light and sound. When Rhea regained her senses, she found herself standing on a precipice overlooking a chasm that stretched into suffocating darkness. Jagged outcroppings clawed at the sky, their surfaces etched with swirling glyphs that pulsed with an ominous energy. The luminescence they'd followed had coalesced above them, forming a shimmering orb that cast warped shadows across this alien landscape. "We've fallen through," Rhea gasped, her voice brittle in the unnerving silence. The keeper stood beside her, their form flickering as they scanned the abyss before them. "Not fallen, child," they corrected, "transcended. But where are we?" Below them, the chasm's depths seemed to writhe with an unseen tide, a mass of inky blackness punctuated by flashes of spectral color. "It feels alive," Rhea murmured, a shiver coursing down her spine, despite the unnatural warmth emanating from the keeper's presence beside her. A rasping laugh echoed around them, seeming to seep from the very walls themselves. "Alive? You wound me," a voice purred from within the swirling orb above. "This realm is merely dormant, waiting for the right hands." Rhea drew closer to the keeper, seeking the reassurance of their steadfast presence. "Who's there?" she demanded, her voice surprisingly steady given the tremor that ran through her entire being. The light shifted, forming a swirling visage within the orb, eyes burning with cold fire and lips curled into a menacing smile. "Someone who can offer you a path," it hissed. "But at a price. What price?" The keeper's voice held an air of calm authority that belied the tension churning within Rhea. "Simple," the apparition cackled. "Assist me in my awakening, and your desires shall be fulfilled." It paused, its gaze fixing on Rhea with unnerving intensity. "But fail, and this fractured realm will consume you both." Rhea felt a wave of icy terror wash over her. This place, this being was different from anything she'd encountered before. Power radiated from it, raw and pulsating, tempting and terrifying in equal measure. "What do you want?" Rhea asked, her voice barely a whisper as she clutched her energy blade tighter. The obsidian metal hummed with a reassuring warmth against the creeping chill that permeated this domain. The entity's grin widened, revealing sharp teeth like shards of broken crystal. "To reshape this world in my image," it hissed. "And you, little one, can be the key." The keeper stepped forward, their form blazing with an almost blinding intensity. They faced the orb of light, a silent defiance radiating from them. "You will not use her for your dark purposes," they declared, their voice resonating with unwavering conviction. A wave of power erupted from the shimmering entity, throwing both Rhea and the keeper backward. The chasm beneath them pulsed violently, threatening to tear open entirely. "Such courage! Foolishness!" It laughed, its voice echoing across this fractured landscape. "You cannot stand against me." "We stood against impossible odds before," Rhea murmured, rallying her scattered thoughts. She knew, deep down, that the keeper was right. Their only hope lay in defying this entity, but a primal fear gnawed at her. Could they truly withstand its power? "It's more than just courage," the keeper replied, their flickering form seeming to steady as they faced the orb of light. "It's about protecting what we believe in, even when the path ahead is shrouded in darkness." A battle was brewing, a clash between unwavering faith and raw, untamed power. And Rhea knew she would stand beside the keeper, no matter what horrors awaited them within this fractured realm. "Such bravado from a pawn," the entity sneered. "But I'll indulge your theatrics. Lay your terms, keeper. Fail, and this realm will reclaim you both." The keeper's form flickered with an inner luminescence, their gaze fixed on the swirling orb. "You seek to reshape this world, to dominate its fractured heart?" "Exactly," the entity purred, its voice dripped with intoxicating power. "And your talents, your faith will serve as a conduit. Imagine the possibilities." Rhea felt a prickle of apprehension, understanding stirring within her about their adversary's true intentions. The keeper's silence stretched, taut with deliberation. Finally, they spoke, their voice resonating with quiet strength. "We offer an alternative. Cease your manipulations. Seek harmony with this fragmented world, not domination." The entity convulsed within its orb of light, a ripple of rage passing through it. "Harmony? A pathetic delusion. This realm thirsts for power, and I will be its conduit." "Then fight us," the keeper stated calmly, their form pulsating with unwavering resolve. Fight us to the end. Rhea unsheathed her energy blade, its obsidian edge catching the strange luminescence that radiated from this surreal landscape. She felt a surge of courage, fueled by the Keeper's conviction. They would stand together against this oppressive force, even if it meant facing annihilation. A valiant stance, the entity hissed, its voice laced with sardonic amusement. You misunderstand me, child. This will not be a battle. This will be an exhibition. Rhea's grip on her blade tightened, sensing the shift in power. They weren't merely facing a powerful being, but a force intent on showcasing its dominance. The entity's form erupted, expanding into a monstrous avatar of swirling energy and shadows. Jagged tendrils lashed out, aimed at engulfing Rhea and the Keeper in their dark embrace. But even before the attack, the Keeper moved with improbable speed. Their form blurred, a ripple of light dissipating between them and the entity's grasping appendages. Your power is impressive, the Keeper acknowledged, but you misunderstand us. We do not fear your manipulations. We reject them. They raised their hand, palm open towards the entity. A radiant wave of energy surged outward, pushing back the darkness, revealing glimpses of a world hidden beneath its oppressive shroud. Rhea felt the wave of energy wash over them both, a surge of warmth and power that pushed back the encroaching chill. Her grip loosened slightly on her blade, finding comfort in the Keeper's unwavering resolve. Your world thrives on division, the Keeper stated, their voice resonating with clarity amidst the chaotic clash of energies. But unity holds true power. We offer you a choice: relinquish your ambition or face its consequences. The entity recoiled from the wave of light, its form crackling with frustrated fury. Gigantic shadowy tendrils lashed out, whipping around them in an attempt to bind and constrict. Rhea reacted instantly, her blade flashing as she parried each attack with lightning speed. The obsidian metal sang against the dark energy, creating sparks that momentarily illuminated the writhing forms of monstrous shadows dancing at their edges. Foolish little one. The entity's voice boomed, laced with contempt. You think you can stand against my power? It threw a tendril towards the Keeper, aiming for their vulnerable core. The Keeper raised an arm, meeting the attack directly. Rhea watched, breath catching in her throat, as her protector absorbed the impact. The radiant light emanating from their hand intensified, pushing back the darkness with unwavering force. A ripple of energy pulsed outwards, creating a protective dome that deflected even the most aggressive assaults. We will not break, the Keeper declared, their words laced with steely determination. This world is meant for collaboration, not conquest. The entity roared in defiance, its form contorting and shifting as it surged with renewed power. It unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, targeting the dome with devastating force. Rhea knew that this defense wouldn't hold forever. She had to act, to contribute something more than just defense. There has to be a way to weaken its control, she murmured, scanning the terrain for opportunities. The entity's power seemed to derive from the chaos and fragmentation of this realm. Her gaze lingered on the fractured edges of the landscape. Perhaps disrupting that imbalance could offer them a chance. She lunged forward, her movements guided not only by instinct, but by something more profound. A sense of purpose, a connection to this world, pulsed within her. Her blade carved through the air, leaving a trail of shimmering light in its wake. Each strike wasn't just an attack, it was a beacon, drawing upon the latent energy within the fractured landscape, seeking to mend the broken pieces. Rhea felt a surge of clarity as she moved, her steps guided by an unseen force. The entity's attacks seemed to falter momentarily, distracted by the unexpected shift in energy. You are trying to mend what I have broken. The entity boomed, its voice laced with astonishment and anger. This world thrives on discord. Harmony is weakness. Rhea ignored the taunts, focusing her attention on the fractured landscape around them. With each calculated strike of her energy blade, tendrils of shimmering light snaked out, weaving between jagged chasms and mending shattered fragments. Above them, the Keeper's hand continued to glow with a steady intensity. The wave radiating outward held back the encroaching darkness, but Rhea knew it couldn't last indefinitely. She had to buy her protector more time to disrupt the entity's core power. Your power, Rhea declared, raising her voice above the din of battle, is fueled by division. You feed on chaos. With a swift motion, she channeled her remaining energy into her blade, igniting it with a brilliant white light. The obsidian metal sang in unison with the mending tendrils, creating a pulsating rhythm of light and energy that spread outwards across the fragmented landscape. Join them, Rhea shouted to the broken structures, to the fractured terrain. Embrace unity, reject division. The entity recoiled even further as a wave of interconnectedness pulsed through them. The dark tendrils writhed, struggling against the encroaching light. As the world around her began to coalesce, Rhea felt a surge of hope bloom within her chest. They could win this. They had to. It was more than just a fight for survival. It was a fight for the very soul of their world. The Keeper, sensing the shift in power, focused their energy outward. A blinding beam shot towards the entity, striking its core with pinpoint accuracy. The entity screamed in anguish as the light overwhelmed its darkness. Its form convulsed violently before collapsing inward, leaving behind only a faint wisp of shadow lingering. Rhea lowered her blade, her heart pounding with the intensity of their victory. The fragmented world around them began to mend, the shattered structures knitting themselves back together. But even as the landscape healed, she knew the fight was not over. The entity's attempt to seize control had exposed the fragility of their world, a reminder that unity was a constant struggle. She glanced at the Keeper, who stood tall and serene in the newly invigorated light. Their gaze met Rhea's, filled with quiet understanding. Their next journey lay ahead, one dedicated to nurturing this hard-won harmony. Rhea wiped the sweat from her brow, feeling the thrum of energy still coursing through her veins. Did we win? She asked, her voice trembling with a mixture of exhaustion and disbelief. The Keeper's gaze swept across the landscape, now awash in soft, regenerative light. A gentle breeze rustled through newly formed leaves, carrying the scent of blooming flora. For now, they replied, their tone thoughtful. But the entity's influence lingers, a subtle disharmony that requires constant vigilance. Rhea swallowed her unease, aware that victory wasn't the end, but a new beginning. This fractured world needed healing, not just physical mending, but a restoration of trust and unity. How do we stop it from returning? She asked, looking to the Keeper for guidance. Unity is our greatest weapon, the Keeper said, their eyes shining with an unwavering conviction. By fostering interconnectedness, by cultivating understanding and empathy, we can build a world resistant to discord. They turned to Rhea, their gaze steady and penetrating. Your role in this is vital, child. You possess the inherent ability to mend not only the land, but also the fractured hearts of those who inhabit it. Rhea felt a surge of responsibility rise within her. I don't know if I'm capable, she began, doubt creeping into her voice. The Keeper smiled gently. Every being holds a spark of creation within them, they said. It is through nurturing that spark, by channeling that energy towards healing, that you truly discover your power. Taking a deep breath, Rhea met their gaze. Then I will learn, she declared, her voice resonating with newfound determination. I will dedicate myself to this task, to forging a world where unity prevails. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the revitalized landscape. A symphony of chirping insects and croaking frogs filled the air. Rhea stood beside the Keeper, watching as the stars emerged, twinkling like celestial beacons in the velvety night sky. How do we begin? She asked, her voice barely a whisper against the chorus of nocturnal sounds. The Keeper's smile held a hint of ancient wisdom. We begin by listening, they said softly. Listen to the whispers of the wind, the murmurs of the earth, the stories etched into every leaf and stone. For within this fragmented world lies not only chaos, but also an abundance of resilience, hope, and a yearning for connection. As twilight deepened, Rhea felt a profound sense of purpose wash over her. The path ahead was long and challenging, but she now knew that the greatest battles were fought not on battlefields, but in the hearts and minds of those seeking unity within themselves and with the world around them. She took another deep breath, savoring the scent of damp earth and blooming wildflowers. This was her mission, to weave together a tapestry of hope and understanding, thread by luminous thread, transforming this fractured world into a haven of peace. How do we begin? Rhea asked, her voice barely audible above the symphony of nocturnal sounds chirping insects and croaking frogs. The keeper's smile held a hint of ancient wisdom. "We begin by listening," they said softly. "Listen to the rustling leaves, the murmuring stream, the tales etched into every bark and stone. For within this fragmented world lie not only chaos, but also resilience, hope, and a yearning for connection." Rhea took a deep breath, inhaling the scent of damp earth and blooming wildflowers. The feeling of responsibility pressed upon her, heavier than before. "The entity's influence lingers beneath everything," she murmured, a subtle discord pulling at the edges. "True," the keeper agreed, their voices calming as gentle rain on parched ground. "But each patch of restored vegetation, each songbird returning to its nest, signifies a push back against that darkness. It reminds us that healing is possible, even in the face of immense adversity." Rhea looked around at the revitalized landscape, her gaze tracing the path of a newly formed brook as it meandered through fields carpeted with vibrant wildflowers. A flicker of optimism sparked within her chest, mingling with a burning determination to protect this fragile balance. "What are those tales etched into the stone? What stories do they tell?" Rhea asked, her fingers lightly tracing the contours of a weathered boulder near their feet. The keeper's eyes twinkled with amusement. "We each have our own interpretations," they said, their voice echoing playfully around them. "But some believe these rocks remember forgotten languages, whispers of ancient civilizations that lived and thrived in harmony with this land before discord tore it apart. Do you think I can learn to understand those stories?" Rhea inquired, her thirst for knowledge driving her curiosity. The keeper's smile broadened. "The world speaks to those who listen," they said wisely. "Pay attention to the patterns of the seasons, the cycles of life and death, the ebb and flow of energy that courses through all things. Those are the true lessons, the ones that can guide you on your path." Rhea nodded, her mind already swirling with possibilities. "I will listen," she promised solemnly, her gaze fixed on the horizon where starlight danced along the edges of newfound dawn. "Lead me onward." As they journeyed deeper into their revitalized world, Rhea realized that their mission extended far beyond physical reconstruction. It was a task of mending fractured hearts, of nurturing trust and understanding, and whispering hope into the ears of those burdened by fear and doubt. The path ahead would be challenging, but filled with endless possibility, a tapestry waiting to be woven together.